Good day, everyone. At this stage of the work, we're going to discuss on how to go about drawing the object as seen on the screen. Okay. As I've always told us, we have different ways of going about your drawing. It all depends on the interest of the drawing, the draftsman or the designer. Now, this element we have here, we're going to come up with it by following different stages. Now, one can decide to go about it at the same time, but it all depends on the interest that I've always emphasized, right? We'll start by drawing the left part of the bottom. Then from there, we'll proceed to the right part of the bottom. Then from there, the plan of the top. Then we'll proceed to adding thickness at the top plan. Then after then, we'll talk about, okay, before then, after drawing the left part of the bottom, we introduce this perforation at the top. Okay, you can see the perforation at the top. Then after, we should now duplicate it so we can have exactly what we have by the right hand side on the left hand side. Then after then, we'll do the plan of the top, the cylinder, you can see. Then from there, we'll now add the thickness. Now, the essence of this thing is to expose the learners on how to go about laying foundation for objects like this, especially the engineering students, and how to manipulate between 2D and 3D, and most importantly on how to navigate the process of positioning. By positioning, I mean viewing points. It's possible you can be from the southeast or southwest and the rest of them, just as you can see from this place. You can have it. So from the viewing point, how we're going to have the object appear like, very important. Then from there, the coordinate system. When you want to add something in the front, at the back, at the top of an object, how do you go about it? We're going to discuss it in the course. So if you have challenge about as regards to the view and coordinates, I think this course will be very useful to you. Then again, on how to start up with the plan, not minding the position of the end view. So that is that. Basically, we have 6 major steps we followed in achieving this. So thank you as you consciously follow. And I will encourage at the end of the day, change dimension and repeat the same process. That is the only way you're going to master the act of design. Thank you very much. Okay, once again, we want to start by choosing the skeletal part of the structure. Okay. Now I've already chosen the southeast direction from the view panel. Then I want to start operating from the right. It may not make much meaning to you until we get to the next thing, but then it's good to follow so that you can repeat the example of yours using what we discussed. Alright, straight away you go to line and say L enter, or you can click on the tool. I've told you several ways of going about that. Pin a place of interest. Then I'm just going to go just haphazardly, choosing my scale. Then I've gotten the first side of the base. Then I want to, now what will happen? I want to get the objects in the first half. I want to get the first half of the object, then after I will combine it using the tool they call mirror for the sake of teaching. Someone can decide to do it straight, you are still correct, but then for the sake of teaching, touching tools and exposing them how to use them, I'm going to do several ways. We're going to use several ways in doing that. So the first thing I'm going to do now is to get half part of the entire object, then use array to bring it together, then combine it, and then from there we proceed. Alright, so I've gotten, what is the first thing I've got? So let me repeat again. The first one, take a line, draw 28 straight, we're grabbing it. Then the middle of the entire hole in between is 48, so I'm going to use half of it, which is 24. You say 24. Alright, then take it up. The entire height is 20. You say enter. Alright. Then this side is, the entire length of the first stop is 26, so I'm going to use half. Half will now be 13. Yeah. And that is that. I've gotten this. Then I can link it up with this. So this is the success so far. Now, this aside, somebody can decide to go. What I've done now is just half of what should be. Okay? By that I mean this. I can decide to go this way. One, first point, then draw 28. Good. Then instead of 24, I will draw 48 now. 48. Good. Right. Then I now draw the remaining 28. So it all depends on your interest. Now, at this point, I can now take it up. Sorry, at the center, I can snap the middle. So how do I snap the middle?
Just between you and me.
How do I snap the middle? Okay, so how do I snap the middle? I'll pick up the straight line, come to the center. Sorry, pick up a straight line. Yeah, this is the center. I take it up. All right. So I put my 20 here, and that is that. Come this way. That is 13. And the other way, 13. So I've achieved the same thing. Then I will now come this way and bring this from here to here, and this way to the other side, and that is it. So you can see I just want to use one to produce the remaining side. It all depends on the choice of the draftsman or the designer. So, but for sake of teaching, I'm going to continue with half. Then after I will mirror it. Mirror will duplicate exactly what you have in the other side and the remaining side. What you have on one side can be duplicated in the other side, either by deleting the original or by leaving it as it is. So it all depends on the point of interest. Now I will proceed from this place. Okay, let me just keep this by the side and move it this way. And all right. Now it didn't go straight because the auto mode is on. That is why it is forced to go in a particular direction. But for now, it can go anywhere. So I place it. I'm still working with this. Alright, so getting to this place now. What next? I want to do the roof. Take it up with line. Either you activate line or you click L enter and take it up. The entire roof is 30. I have to put up my auto mode on to give me straight line in the desired direction. And 30, and that is that. I've gotten it. Then I go. The entire roof is I think 70. But I'm going to go half 35, 35. So that is that. I put it 35. And that is that. Cutting it. Okay. But then we'll have a rise from this place, which is around I think 20 meters. Therefore, for the sake of teaching, you can always put 20 meters. Sorry. Click on this and take it up. 20. Good. Then you can now link this. Now I've gotten what I want. I've gotten the shape that is designed to do the rest of whatever I want to do. Now if you look at this object, you understand why I chose right direction to enable me insert my thickness on that direction. Okay. Now, but I will advise when you finish the entire skeleton as I've done now, you rejoin it by making it to be a single entity. You may not understand the reason why that is very important until you keep on working on it, because they all stands at different elements now. For instance, if I click on this one, only the vertical side is selected. If I click on this one, but I want to show you the way that when I click one, any part of the body, the entire element will be selected, and that is when is considered as a single element. And meanwhile, these two lines are not needed. I just use them to get picture what I want. So how do I go about that? Select everything. I can come and say where is it? Okay, sorry, modify, come to modify and take union. Now watch now. When I click any place, the entire object is selected. Another way of selecting them together is by picking it one after the other, but that's very stressful. That's not an attitude of a professional. So it's good you select it one after the other before you can always. Now at this stage, I can still decide to array the object as it is before I continue inserting my thickness, which it all depends on interest. For instance, I can just select everything here. Okay, to array, come to modify. Okay, it may not be displayed, doesn't mean it's not there. You click on the drop. This is the array sign, click on it. Okay, this is array sign, click on array. Then click on the object, pick the first side and pick the second side. You can see now if I say no, yes, it will delete the original plan, but if I say no, it will still keep it. And you can see it, I've gotten it. So it has duplicated the drawn side and the other side. Okay, that is what I'm trying to achieve here. Somebody can decide to go about doing this thing, as I've explained earlier, going up 30, all right, and continuing like that. It's a 30. All right, you've got it. Okay, next to this is to draw the other part of the top. How do you go about doing that? Enter to activate the line, or you click on this tool here. Now you take it up, specify 35 to balance it up here. So we've gotten the same. I guess that's what it. Yeah, 35. Then the next is to take up the rise from here. That is 20. Yeah. Escape, and also this way 20. And that is that. We've gotten it, and just link it up to this one and link up this style by inserting straight line. So you've gotten it. So this is some way I've done it. So for the sake of teaching, I said to then after I can now take up this place and get it deleted. So I've gotten the same thing following different ways. Amazing. I've gotten the same thing from the same way. But for the sake of teaching, I'm going the way I'm going, so you understand it better. Alright, so while I still leave this one, I want to bring it back. I just do undo, Ctrl Z 2 times to bring back the value. Now I still want to maintain the finishing of the first part, okay, first half, before I will now duplicate it, just for the teaching's sake. Now what next? I want to add thickness in the direction of the right, as I've chosen already. So what do? I come to the modeling panel. You go to what I call the weapon of mass destruction. This press pull can do many things. It's used for many things. Alright. So as time goes on, you touch other ones. Very good. Now you click on the press pull. Now depending on the speed of your system, you wait a little bit. Okay, so you'll be activated. But some systems that are a bit fast, once you just click, is activated, and you can always start up what you want. All right, you can see the icon has changed. Now watch what happened. There is a change on the look of the edges of the shape. The appearance of the shape by my right hand side of the screen on the canvas is different from that on the right. Why? Because the tool is activated. It shows that it's about to implement a particular task. Okay, I will deselect and repeat it again. Now look at the look of the shape on the right side of the canvas. Now I pick up the press pull again and I come back. Yeah, I click on it. I just hover on top of it. It shows a little changes. All right, signifying that it's about to receive an instruction. All right, when I click on it and I move it, drive it to the direction I want. Now you see, I can only add thickness on the right side. That is the meaning of this. That is the meaning of this choice I made here. Where is it again? My coordinates. Yeah, I chose my right. When I was choosing, I chose my right. That's the meaning of that coordinates choice that I made. I chose right, so I can only add thickness in that direction. All right, I can only go in this direction. Now what of the other side? It's just a question of changing it. We'll get to that as time goes on. All right, okay, so next is to specify the thickness of our interest. Say 50. Now this is what I want now. I've gotten it. This is 50. Now I want to see this stuff now in the real 2D environment. I mean 3D environment. How do I go about that? I can click on this place and go to realistic or whatever, or shaded with edge, and I can come to this place, you know, for the sake of teaching. So you know where to get each tools per time. Click on this place, shaded with edges, you've got it. Alright. This is what we've done now. This is what we've done. Alright. Now I can continue with this. I can start to join this thing together by selecting everything, but before then I need to remove this. Now mind you, this one I'm going with full drawing, all right, but in this case I want to produce the half, then now duplicate it later to have the exact look of what you have on the other side. So it all depends on the choice of the draftsman. Now I will remove this one as well, it's not necessary. Then the next thing is to join it. I can say this J enter because it does the job. Now if I click on it, I see it's now a single entity. Alright, then I can now apply my press pull. It all depends on the choice of the draftsman. I move this way, whichever way you want, whichever way. Now, but then for the sake of teaching, I want to still continue with this. I just want to explain what I want to do. Okay, now next to do is to insert the shape we see at the top of the. Okay, next to this is to insert the shape we have at the top. There is opening we see by the both left and right side of the object. So how to go about that? Now before you do that, you have to change the orientation of the coordinate. Very important. Now if you watch that opening, it's located at the top of the element, the top of the shape. And if we continue with this right side, we can only work on this side of the element. It's not possible. Alright, so for us to implement that very well, all I need to do is to come to coordinate and change the orientation. Now I will choose my top. Now see what happened. I pick up this, right, and I draw. I think the dimensions is 20 by 5, I think so. Very good. Okay, I've gotten it. So this means I can add direction. I can add thickness in top and bottom direction. I can add thickness in top and bottom direction. For instance, I take my press pull and I want to add thickness. I can take it up, I can take it down. That's the menu because I've changed the orientation. But that's not what I want. Okay, that's not what I want. That's not what I want. Now, the next is to move it. Now watch the drama. I pick it up, select it first, because for you to execute any command on an element, you have to select it first. Okay, then I want to move it. I have to select it first, then click on the icon here, move, or somebody can start to say enter is activated. Pin it at the middle and locate this top here and insert it here and insert it here. All right, I can rotate it. Now I want to rotate this. How do I go about that? I can come to this orbit here and pin it and rotate it. I've explained these things in the textbook. Some of us, this is where I got it, that to rotate this in. It mustn't be one place. Alright, so let me get what I want. Okay, the next to this is to perforate it. So how I got about that, I pin up this, I select the shape, right, over on top of it, and I've gotten it, and I take it down. Let's just say 15 meter deep. It has perforated downwards based on the specification. I specified 15 meter, 15 mm. So to still see it better, you can click on this and rotate it. You can see the perforation here. Right. So that is that. Okay. To exit that, you can say escape. Now I want to perforate the left side of the shape as demonstrated. So what do? I pick up this again. Then hold my shift, pin it. Okay, sorry. Pin it and move towards the left side and click. Sorry, that's a mistake. Sorry. Yeah, I heard shift, that's wrong. You click on this and pin the surface. Move it out, and that is that. For you to see what you've done, you can click on this and rotate it. I've achieved that. I've achieved that. I've achieved that already. So that's as gotten. Okay, now next to this is to duplicate the other side. Okay, next to this is to duplicate the exact shape we've produced already, and how we go about all this. Make use of an important tool, which we call, we'll have it both in 2D and 3D environment. Okay, it all depends on how or what you need, the exigency of the moment. Now, but you have different ways of application when it comes to the two environment. For the 2D, is just 2 places, but in 3D you have to specify 3 points of reference. For instance, I want to duplicate this now. I click on this, is it for it. Okay. Now for the 2D, you make use of this. You make use of this. This is mirror for 2D, but for 3D mirror, you make use of this. Don't forget that. Still, it's 3D mirror. You can see. So in 2D, you click 2 places, but in 3D, you click 3 places. Watch what happens now. Now, I want to rotate this stuff so I can see it very clearly. Right? It's gone. Then I move. Select the object first. It now ask me, what it says, specify what? The 3 points. So I choose this place, 1 and 2. When I click the third one, watch what happens. Good. It asks me a question, do you want to delete the source? I say no, and that is that. If I say yes, the left side will be deleted. So I've gotten it. That is exactly what I'm trying to achieve when I did something like this. Exactly what I'm trying to achieve when I did something like this. Now I can decide to go straight, press pull this one, and that is that. If I press pull it this way now, it goes. You see, so many ways to go about the whole stuff. I just specify my 50 cm, and that is that. I've gotten it. Now I apply the perforation I did at the top. So whichever way. All right, but for the sake of teaching, let's continue. All right. So this one is still by the side. This one, the person may decide to go about doing the entire job at once. It all depends. Then you go about bit by bit as I'm doing. Now, there may be need for removing of some objects that are not needful, which may not be possible considering the look of the object for now. So what do? You can go about taking it to the skeletal look. Like for instance, I want to remove, okay, Dory, I'm coming. I want to remove this one. I don't need it. Other ones are coming, I'll remove it gradually. Okay. Now, to take it back to where I was before, we come back to this, and that is that. Now, next is to insert the perforation we have at the top. So how do you go about that? How do you go about inserting that? Very easy. I check my orientation to top. Okay, it's still at the top. Yeah, it should top. Then I want to get the exact. There are many ways to go about it. I can decide to draw a straight line. All right. To run from here to here, just a strategy, Okay, I've gotten the middle already. Now I can decide to insert the circle here. I can say C, enter, and that is that. I think the radius should be 20 against 10. The first one is 20. All right, I've gotten it. Then C, enter again to insert the second circle. This next one will be 10, I think so. You can just use whatever dimension of your choice. Then later I want to delete this line because that's not the interest. I just want to use it to get the top. Then the next thing is to create the opening. I pick up the press pull. I select this, take it down once, it's gone. Take the remaining one, down one, it's gone. All right. So I can. Okay, yeah, I've gotten it. This is exactly what we're trying to achieve. We've perforated the top, but then how do we now take up the top? Very easy, still press pull. Now, if you watch the application of press pull, when we take it and go down, take the hand downwards, it opens. Now, watch what happens when you take it up. You know, this is for the sake of learning. You come back to the modeling panel again, go to the you know, when I was explaining on the 2D, I made mention of the fact that home tab is the most important tab. It's not because other ones are not important, but when it comes to drafting or drawing, it gives the entire tool that are needed for that. Okay, that is where you find your draw, panel as we have it in 2D, but in 2D you have both draw and modeling panel, and of course we have your modify panel which you use to work on the tools. So that is that. Now coming back again to the press pull, once I click on it, watch what happens when I take it upwards. Now I select the place of interest, I select this, okay, and take it. Say the height of, okay, what height do we choose now? Okay, let's say just 60. Let's say 60. Good. And pick the remaining one and take it up and put 60 again, and that is that. We've gotten it. So that is how the shape is gotten. Now, but if you watch now, this gentleman by the right hand side can still be worked upon. As I've told you, you click on this stuff here, press pull it, all right, take it and move and begin to insert other things. All right, now if you watch, all these things are in pieces, they're in parts, okay, but they want it to be a single entity. Very important when you have to have it as a single entity. Now how do you make it bigger? You can zoom it by wheeling the roller at the center of your mouse, okay. That's how to go about it. Otherwise you can always right click and choose zoom, whichever way, okay. You can do it. There are many ways to go about it. All right, you pin the left side of the mouse and draw it, go in, go out, and it gives you what you want. So whichever way. Now to go back to what we want to do, I'm talking about making it a single entity. So how do you go about that? By selecting the union. This is the union here. All right, you click on this, select all the parts that are in pieces and say enter. Now watch it. Now anywhere I select, or anytime I select the object, we'll have it as single what? Entity. That's how it's been done. This is how I unioned it. In 2D we'll have it as joined. Alright? Yeah, we'll have it as joined. This is it here. We'll have it as joined. It's trying to combine several parts to form single entity.